Whether you are buying a $2 million RV or a $10,000 travel trailer, there's one thing that RV inspectors won't tell you, and I recently learned about this, and I did not know that RV inspectors withhold this information, and I think it's one of the most important things in buying a pre-owned motorhome. So today I wanted to make a quick video talking about RV inspectors, letting you know the good, the bad, what to look out for, and what the best way I feel is to inspect an RV before purchasing it. So I've seen a few YouTube channels that are doing video inspections of RVs where they're filming the inspections, and I've learned a lot. And on one of those channels, I recently heard the inspector, they were being fully transparent, mention that they are not allowed to comment on smells in a coach because a smell can be an opinion.
I'm not really supposed to say that there's an odor, but I'm just telling you, in my opinion, something died in that fridge. I would not ever use that fridge, but that's just me.
But we can't say that in an inspection. That's right. The problem also.
We're not supposed to tell you on an inspection report because we only are giving facts. My nose might be different than your nose.
So they can go through, fully inspect an RV, but even if there's a rank smell, they don't necessarily have to tell you, or I don't even think they're allowed to tell you from the way it was portrayed to me in this video. So I think it's extremely important before you buy a coach to go touch it, smell it, feel it, make sure there's no smoke smells, pet smells, mildewy smells. And talking more about RV inspectors, there are good inspectors and not so good inspectors. And one thing that really turns me off about RV inspectors is they have no recourse if they miss something in an inspection. They're basically going over, finding what they can, but if for some reason they miss something and then you go spend your hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars, you're the one that's on the hook for that, not the RV inspector. They already got your $1,000 or whatever they charge you for the inspection, and they're on their way. And I've always said you can have 5 different RV inspectors inspect the same coach, and you're probably going to get a different inspection report on all 5 different inspection reports. They're all going to see things a little bit differently. Keep in mind, these are extremely complex systems. It's like buying a home and a car in one. And I know some RV finance companies will actually send an inspector on their behalf. That's the only time I've ever seen inspectors here at the motor coach store. I know a lot of the big RV dealerships will not allow inspectors or third-party inspectors that the buyer hires, and there's a few reasons for that. Not all RV inspectors understand how to operate these machines. So if someone hires an inspector, you either have to have one of your staff members kind of there watching over them to make sure they're not flipping the wrong button or messing anything up on that coach. There's a lot to know about operating these coaches, especially the higher end stuff. When you get into the Prevos and Newells, you definitely wouldn't want to have the same person inspecting your Newell coach that usually inspects like travel trailers or other stuff. There's going to be a lot more complex systems that they may not be familiar with, not know what to look for. And there's very few RV inspectors in the country that have a good reputation for inspecting Prevos and Newells. There was a gentleman by the name of Gil that was very well known in the Prevo community doing inspections, but from what I've heard, he now works for a service center full time, so he's not doing those inspections anymore. If you want to buy a coach, you can bring it to the motor coach store here in Bradenton, Florida to have it inspected. And there are some good RV inspectors out there that definitely build a lot of value and help protect that investment. But I've always said that if you're the one purchasing this coach, you're going to be the captain of the ship. Unless you're hiring a driver and someone else to manage the coach for you, then that's a different situation. But whoever is going to be operating this machine should be the one that really inspects it. And it's also a great opportunity if you go out and inspect the coach yourself, you may be able to use that as a time to negotiate with the seller a little bit. If you find some stuff that aren't exactly what you were expecting, maybe the seller will budge on the price a little bit. And you know, keep in mind, sometimes there is little stuff that you will find on the coach that may not be a deal breaker. You can always factor in the repair cost to get that stuff done and use that to negotiate a better deal on the coach. But keep in mind, getting service work on these motorhomes is not easy. And I tell a lot of people, even, you know, if you're saving $1,000, you're gonna protect your hundreds of thousands of dollars more than any RV inspector will. And I know it's time consuming, it's kind of like working a full 8-hour day, but I recommend that people go online, print out RV inspection sheets. They kind of all are very similar. They all have similar systems, air conditioning systems, your generator, your water pumps, your sewer valves. You want to make sure you dump those tanks, fill those tanks and dump them. Make sure all that's operating. Go on the roof, inspect seals, make sure everything looks good. And I really think, you know, just smelling around when you open up in the bays, smell for wet smells in there, especially on a hot day. You know, sometimes the colder weather can kind of mask smells, and then as it warms up, some smells will come out. So it's another thing to be aware of. And you always have to keep in mind that even though you do hire an RV inspector, they may not be perfect and they may be missing some things. So I definitely recommend touching and feeling the coach yourself and being patient, and don't be afraid to walk away from a deal if it's not the right deal. I'd love to hear what some of your stories are about hiring RV inspectors. If you've had good experiences, bad experiences, please drop a comment below and let me know what you feel about RV inspectors. Are they worth hiring? Today's video is a little bit different than the normal videos that we make, but I just wanted to talk about that. I recently learned that RV inspectors are not required to disclose odors or smells that they come across. I thought some of you may find that information valuable. So thanks to all of you that are subscribing to the channel and liking these videos. I hope you're all having a great day.